So hit me up, you know it's all I'm waiting for. Oh, would you hit me up? I've been waiting my whole life. Oh, for you to hit me up. I've never felt this way. I wanna turn back time, save me some heartbreak. Oh, would you stay for me if I let you in? So secretly, you're my melody, yeah, my melody. Would you stay with me if I let you in? I just like the way you are, yeah. All the ways you blow my mind, yeah. People always told me I need someone like you, someone who gets me and someone who's cool, yeah. And I like the way you are, and I want it all. The way you move, I've been following every move you make, 'cause I love the way you make me move when I'm around you. I feel so calm, so glad I found you. With the way you move, I'm gonna make a move. Okay, guys. Here is the wet result. I'm gonna try to block out the glare with my noggin. Maybe not. I don't think my noggin's big enough. Oh well, I tried. So pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. All right, I will show you when he's dry. Okay guys, well here is the dry results. It is really dark and moody. I'm digging it. This is before epoxy. So it is definitely gonna pop a lot more with the colors. Now, one thing I kind of debated on posting this, but good learning curve. Also, sorry for the squeaking. He is very needy right now. So anywho, one thing I will say about Riggy, different toy, bub, thanks. Okay, so one thing I will say is if you kind of zero in here, you can see an outline. Okay, what I should have done in hindsight, and what I will do with the next one when I do it, is sand it. So basically what happened is I did kind of like a couple little testers, and I had an idea, ended up going with something totally different. Originally this was gonna be like, and I still might maybe do it with this one. I wanted to make it a, ooh, sorry guys, fumble fingers. So this part here, I actually wanted to create what looked like a tree branch. So you know how like the tree kind of can split in the center and it can go this way and this way, and then you kind of have this like background. So that's kind of what I was going, and that's what this one was, but it was like purples and kind of galaxy looking sort of stuff. And hey guys, chill out. Okay. And, but yeah, so I should have sanded it because it was so minuscule. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal, especially given that my paints were thicker and more of like a Dutch pour consistency, maybe even a little bit thicker. But yeah, so bummer there, but I think if I use epoxy, I think that will rectify the situation, or it could intensify it. We'll find out. So yeah, I will show you the end result regardless, but I do love the colors. It's really got some beautiful like moodiness to it. That's where that ridge is right there. This section is the one that I love the most, and it is hard to tell right now because it dries darker. That's acrylics. But you can see, I mean, it's got tons of shimmer. It's just really hard to tell right now because it's dry and then you don't have any top coat on it. So I do really love it. I think it's probably going to be super cool looking. Again, we'll figure out or find out, I guess, how that ridge is with the epoxy. But yeah, so I'm going to be probably going to be doing the epoxy tonight. I'm feeling adventurous. So probably have some dinner and then we will dive in. This is going to be, I think, one of the bigger pieces with epoxy. And I have my new epoxy, which if you watch Canella Sirocco, who I just love, she always talks about crystal resin. So that's what I'm using. And I had done so this is the clock for my niece, and I'm not going to show the bottom because it's got her last name on it. But this is the clock for my niece. And so I didn't use this epoxy on it. I actually used a different epoxy. And it took about 2 to 3 coats to get it right. And then at the very top of the top layer, I put in like a sparkle in the resin. Not a ton, just a little, because I thought it would look really cool. So that's what I'm going to be doing, I think, tonight. And I might be able to show you some, dried results tomorrow. I keep the art room or studio pretty warm when I do epoxy. And then I have my new resin box, which is fantastic. And so yeah, stay tuned and I'll see you in the next part. Bye. Okay guys, well, the resin is on, and as you can tell, it's got a beautiful glass finish now because of the resin. Apologize for the glare, but there's just no getting around it with the resin. And I am so sorry. That's Ruki. He gets excited with the reflections. I also am holding his ball so that he doesn't squeak it while I'm trying to make this video. So, it looks gorgeous. I'm so excited. It's got no floofies, no hair. The resin box really is awesome. And it really made this painting pop for sure. I'm gonna leave it in the resin box for probably another 12 hours just to allow it to set, because it's only been about 12 since I put the resin on. But yeah, definitely if you're looking for, kind of go this way to get, sorry for my sniffles. There's your puppies, the pretty puppies. But yeah, I really made this painting pop. I love the colors. Oh, I'm so excited. And I'm very excited that I finally found the resin that works. Crystal resin, which is what Canella Sirocco uses, works amazing. It didn't pull away from the edges. It didn't have any weird air bubbles. So if you want a really good resin that's easy to use and it doesn't make you crazy because it pulls away from the edges, and then you have to do like 3 or 4 coats and sand and all this other gobbledygook. This is the one you want to use. So anywho, I'm going to log off since he is getting very antsy and wants his ball back. So anywho, I'll show you when it is 100% done. And in the meantime, we're gonna go play ball. Okay, guys. Wow. This turned out so pretty. I am like so excited right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so obviously a huge reflection because it's resin, right? But let me try. I'm trying to, you can totally just see the reflection, but look at the shimmer. Seriously, like, oh my goodness. It's so pretty. And I do apologize for the glare, but it really is pretty. The painting, not the glare, obviously. Yeah. Oh my goodness. This turned out really fantastic. Wow. Today kind of sucked. I have not felt very well today. My sinuses have been giving me a bad migraine, to put it mildly. But yeah, this makes up for it. This is so pretty. I'm so pleased. This box is awesome. I'm so happy. Oh, look how pretty. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Oh, it really is gorgeous. And I apologize for the glare. There's nothing you can do about that when you put resin on something. This is still varnishing, so there's that. This is in progress. This is actually a clock. There's a story behind this clock too. This actually got super warped, and one of the gentlemen at Rockler helped me fix it. But this was with the old resin, and I don't know if you can see it. I've sanded it. You can kind of see it. So it started to pull away at the edges, like right there and there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Trying. You can see where I sanded. So if you use the wrong resin, or maybe not wrong, but maybe you use a resin and it happens to have pulling away at the edges like I had with so many, sometimes, well, most of the time, you have to sand it. So if you sand it, it gives the resin something to kind of like latch onto, and so you want to sand it. Now, if you did this is still, it's still a little warped, for the most part fixed enough for resin. It's fixed and level enough for resin, but a little wonky still. One thing I will say, sorry, I'm starting to yawn here. One thing I will say is if you are going to sand, make sure you have a thick enough resin so you're not sanding off your painting. Voice of experience. If I kept thinking that I was having all these issues because I was doing too thick of a layer of epoxy. It's not necessarily the case. It's the type of epoxy. You have different types, different strokes for different folks, different resin for different things. This is not a mold resin, okay? What you use on a painting is not the same as what you use in a mold, at least in my experience. Maybe there's some people who have done it. Arguably, you know, there's possibly people who have done it very, very well. I am not that person. Not at all. So this resin and this resin are very different. Crystal resin, other resin. Crystal resin, 1 coat. This is going on 4. This is the other resins. And again, it's got like that pulling away from the edges, like right in here. So you can see that texture right there where it's glaring, right? You can see that. That did not happen with this. This is all totally smooth, right? Totally smooth. So that's the difference between different kinds of resin. And I'm not knocking this resin. This was a user error. I'm sure this particular resin, honestly, I can't even remember what it was. I got it at Michael's. It's not just like a craft, you know, resin. It's a very specific resin. Am I an idiot? Oh, it's this one. This one. Yeah. Heart resin. Nothing bad about this. Nothing. This is a great resin. But I think, at least for myself, I think this is technically a mold resin, which is why I had issues with the pulling away at the edges. I have not had that issue with crystal resin. And I think that that's because it's actually, when I was doing some research, it's specifically for canvases, not molds, which makes a big difference. I didn't think it would make a difference, but it actually really does. So anywho, yeah, this is gonna be finished probably in the next day or two. Gonna put the clock center in and we will get going. Again, got my little baby niece's clock. Definitely different from my typical style, that's for sure. This is, I like bold, moody kind of stuff, and you know, this kind of thing. So okay guys, so this piece you've seen a few times. Resin is on it. I suck, honestly. I had this kind of last minute idea to try something. So this is the edges, and I taped the edges. It's not 100% perfect. It had a tiny little bleeding, but you know, it's really not that bad. And that's horrible grammar. I got myself, let's try this again, basically some better tape. It's supposed to be more flexible, and then you heat it up with heat gun, just a heat gun, and it's supposed to prevent these things from happening because my OCD just really hates it. But the problem is this is relatively thin on the sides, and so if I tried to sand this, it probably would leave like a big gouge or groove, and I feel like that would probably be more distracting. But essentially what I did is I took a blowtorch to the wood and burnt it, and then I conditioned the wood, and then I applied a clear gloss. Fast drying, it's still drying presently. I haven't done the very far side because I need to swing it around like a pizza. But I didn't want to do it when it was super wet. So I'm waiting for that to be, for the most part, cured. I'll swing it around and do another thing. I'm only doing 1 layer of this because, again, I have sealed the wood 3 other times, okay? I sealed it when I first started prepping the piece. I sealed it again with, oh, there we go. Conditioner, okay. Pretty conditioned wood. And then I conditioned it again by adding the natural stain, okay. These two are not the same brand as this guy. And that's just, honestly, it's just what I had on hand, because I do woodworking too, and it's just what I've had on hand. But I mean, it looks pretty darn nifty. So all of this dark color came mostly, like 95% came from the burning. It definitely had like a little bit, and I'll try to show you on another, so I have another canvas here, excuse the mess, many projects, another one over there. So I have some like raw wood pieces that I can show you what it looked like before. And then what I'm gonna do is for this guy that I just did, sneak preview, I'm going to try to do a whole walkthrough with you on how I prepped the wood for the sides. At least I've already prepped all the wood on the top. So, but basically prepping the sides, if not already done. On the others, they're not, because they were taped. So we do that at the end. I am going to put epoxy over the other one as well. So I'm going to try to show you the epoxy, and pretty much everything that I missed with this one, I'm going to try to show you in my next one. So, yeah, it's turning out great. I'm super pleased with it. I love the cradled wood panel. It's so marvelous for resin, because it's totally level. There's no flex to it, so you don't have to worry about it with a canvas. But yeah, I think it looks really pretty. It complements the colors in this piece really well, and I think it looks like a really nice finished product. So once this is 100% finito, I will show you in this last clip coming up. Gonna probably be a few hours for me, 2 or 3 seconds for you. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about a cradle wood panel compared to a canvas, and if you would like to see more of these. Anywho, stay tuned. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, guys. Well, it is finally done. I'm kind of standing off to the side because I'm trying to minimize the glare. You can't really get around it with the resin, unfortunately. I'm also going to try to avoid the mess that's in the corner because I cleaned out the art room and I have a whole bunch of boxes and stuff like that over there. So, but this is the sides. I love it. I flippin' love it. A little bit of a mess right in here. Okay, it bled just a teeny bit, but I mean, it's really quite minimal. I can live with it. I think I can live with it. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here. So pretty. I love the colors in this. It's like very dark, very moody, but it has some like pops of color, right? And the sides just complement it. So I love the cradled wood. Oh, so pretty. I love it. Okay, guys, so this piece is available for sale on my website for some counts, and I will put that in the description below. And yeah, oh, cool. I think that's everything. Video with all the pieces that are for sale is, oops, sorry, humble fingers, to come. So that is coming up. I know I promised you that. It's just been so busy. Oh my goodness. I have so many projects. It's hard to, it's hard to keep track of all of them. and keep up to date on them. So anyways, I hope you liked this video. It was a bit longer. On the next one, which I have already started, I'm actually starting on the resin hopefully tomorrow if I get home in time after writing. And yeah, I'll walk you through how I did the edges. I'm gonna try for the resin. I gotta measure the resin because I'm still waiting on the gallon, well, 2 gallons, I guess, 2, numero dos, or dos, yeah, dos. So, but anywho, I'm waiting on the gallon of resin, the solidifier or hardener, I think is the technical term. And then the actual like epoxy itself. So you have a hardener and the epoxy. Each a gallon. So 2 gallons total. I'm just still waiting for it. So I got to calculate to see if I have enough to do something that is this big. And if so, I can get it up in pretty quick time because everything else is done. I'm literally just waiting on the very last video showing the end result with the resin. So anyways, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for staying with me. Please like, share, subscribe. It really helps my channel, especially since I'm just starting out. And if there's tips, feedback, things you want to see, ideas, let me know, and I'll be happy to throw them up on the channel. Also, sorry for the ear flapping. Beretta is shaking her head at, of course, the best moment. So anyways, have a good day, guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys shortly in the next video. Bye.